What's up, y'all? Jakob Owens here for the Buff Nerds, and today we're going to talk about building a brand and a company. So this video is going to focus more on like building and starting a brand and growing a brand. A brand can also be a company, and you know, they kind of go hand in hand together, but I want to give you like 5 really important tips into building a brand. Really quickly, just so you know me, my history, I've built several different companies and brands that are all very, very successful, and there's there's a lot of commonalities between all of them and why they are successful and why they do well in their niche. So I'm going to talk on what I feel are some of the 5 important tips and things to think about when you're trying to start and build your own brand. So first off, Buff Nerds, which is this YouTube channel and my film production company. And then after that, we have Tropic Color, which is like a film production, like post effects and assets company. And then after that, Prism Lens Effects, which is like tools, creative tools to put in front of your camera, mount to your camera for like photo and film, creative expressive tools. So those are 3 companies I've built from the ground up with my business partner Tom, and just we've literally done everything from, you know, building of the websites, the social media, posting, the every sort of like branding and work element along the way we have done and created ourselves. And so let's get into talking about what I feel like are going to be the 5 things. There are more, but 5 important things to help you start thinking about building and growing a brand or a company. So number 1 is passion. You want to start building a brand or a company around passion. Where you will find success is when you're passionate about something. You want to wake up every day and work on it. People and the audience and the consumers can feel the passion behind whatever it is you're doing, whether it's the social media posting, whether it's the ads, whether it's the product and quality of the product itself, just the message behind it. Everything about the product, brand, company you're trying to grow, you need to be passionate about, because the audience can feel it, the consumers can feel it, but also it just will help you grow and work on building the brand because you're excited about it, because you want to. So first and foremost, if you look at all my brands, they're all related around something I'm passionate about. Film, creativity. You have Buff Nerds Media, which is a production company. You have Tropic Color, which is all about film editing. Then you have Then you have Prism Lens Effects, which is all about in-camera effects, and it's another film product. They're all brands and companies that interest me and I'm passionate about and I'm excited about. If I tried to start a brand about makeup, I have no passion about makeup. And so it would really come through in the branding and building the company that it would be hard to be successful at starting and trying to grow a makeup brand and company. I'm just not passionate about it. Next, and probably one of the most important, is finding that gap or that niche in the marketplace. So 1, you want to determine your niche, what the product and company and brand is, the space you're going into, but finding that gap that no one is doing. What's missing in that niche that you're trying to go into? So for us with Tropic Color, it was the post effects and assets game when it comes to like different effects and overlays for editing videos. And the gap that I found is you either had very cheaply done stuff for a cheap price, or you had really high-end production stuff, but it was just way too overpriced and not everyone could afford it. So it was finding that gap of professional high-end products at the affordable price for anyone across the board, from a high school kid to high-end studio. Finding that gap in whatever niche you're trying to go into will really help you reach more consumers and do something new that no one else is doing. Next, number 3 is adding value. So the reason you will grow a following, the number 1 reason you can grow a following or grow a brand, is if you're adding value to someone's life. That could be informational value, it could be entertainment value. People want to follow along, whether it's a person or a brand, if they're getting something back from it, if they're learning something, if they're being entertained by it. Those are all elements of value, and you need to determine what is the value you are going to bring to people. Why would consumers or people want to follow you, buy your product? How does it add value to their life? The more value you can add in your social media, your product, the information, the quicker and better you can grow your brand. Then it comes to branding. We're talking about building a brand in a company, and to do that you need to have good branding in a sense. So your color design, your logo, your slogan, the different element. What is your branding? What is your look, your aesthetic? Because there are a lot of companies that do the same thing, but the ones that seem to really stand out are the ones that have really good branding, especially when it comes to social media. And you're looking at a social feed, whether it's Instagram, YouTube, whatever it is, that branding element, people want to follow along. The aesthetic is pleasing. It draws them in with the right taglines and logos and graphics and colors, and having a good branding and look and appeal to the company that you're doing is gonna be huge for you and your success. There are a lot of companies that try to do what we do as Tropic Color since we've been doing it. But a big difference, not the one, but a big difference in what we're doing is the branding. You look at some of these other companies and they just don't have the same aesthetic, look, and branding. They might try and copy our products or copy what we do, but the branding just isn't there, and it makes it harder for them to be successful just because of the lack of, good branding. And the last thing is finding like-minded people within the passion, but also the work ethic. So my partner Tom, who is a partner with Buff Nerds, Tropic Color, Prism Lens Effects, and some of these other ones that we're working on, he's extremely passionate about all of that as well, and his work ethic matches mine. And that's what you want to find, a couple friends or a team of people that all have that like-minded passion and work ethic. So you guys are always pushing each other. You don't want one person doing all this work and this other person who's handling all the back-end stuff and the website and this not upholding you and pushing you. The more you guys can push each other and you're like-minded in the passion behind the product, behind the company, but also the work ethic and wanting to work on it every day and grow it and get it big, that goes a really long way and sometimes can be overlooked. And I'll just add in, don't mimic other brands. Like, yes, you can reinvent the wheel and do something better that another company isn't doing, but don't copy that other brand. Create your own lane, create your own space, create something that makes you unique and stands out. If you just look like every other company, if you just kind of blend in and you don't stand out from the crowd, it's going to be really hard to push your brand through the roof, break through that seal, and become big and unique on your own. So one of the big things I could say is just try your best to not just copy other brands. You need to do something that makes you stand out from the rest. So there's so many more topics I could talk about with growing your brand, your company, business. I do have a little guide that I have put together. Let's see, how many pages is it? It's like a 28-page guide talking about all my tips and advice for building a brand and company. I'll link that in the description below if you're interested at all at that. But hopefully this video helped. I get a lot of questions all the time, especially with, how are you working on all these companies and stuff, and how did you start them? How did you grow them? And so I wanted to make this video really quickly to just touch on some of what I felt are some of the key features or important things to think about when it comes to growing a brand or a company. All right, guys, that's all I have for today. Appreciate you guys for watching. Without further ado, I'm Jakob Owens for the Buff Nerds.